Windows 98. With this. Hi, Quail. Quail went to sleep right in front of the camera. Oh my god, Quail! Oh my god, we need a Quail emote. Windows 98, get this post-DOS shit out of my face. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, bye, Quail. Oh, he's getting comfier. Windows 98, what's that? It's the last version of Windows to have fun shit on it. Everybody's nostalgic for so many different versions of Windows, but Windows 98 was the last one to have, like, fun stuff on it. Like, beyond just games, it also had, like, a bunch of, like, little art programs and stuff. Not true, XP was great. XP was not as good as 98. XP did not have as much fun stuff as 98. Windows 7 raw. Windows 7! I'm gonna be so real. I'm gonna be so real with you guys. Windows 7 was pretty bad for when it came out. In my opinion. In my opinion, Windows 7 when it came out was pretty bad because they took away all the games. They took away all of the games. So if you wanted to play games, you had to boot up like this... Oh god, what was it called? It was like a game browser thing. And it was like an app store before app stores. And you would go on there and there were a bunch of like free demos for games for Windows Live, games for Windows. It was so bad. What are you talking about? I'm talking about the free games that came on Windows 7. There were like none. There were like none. So you would boot up Windows 7 and you would go to the games section and there was a bunch of games on there that you had to download from the freaking internet. And a bunch of them, they used this stupid token system. They used a stupid token system. So it's like, oh, you only have 2 free boot ups of this game. Boot ups, not even like 2 hours. You boot up the game, that's one of your tokens. And then you need to like refresh your currency to get more. There was like a way to get more, I think, but I don't remember how you would do it. But yeah, it was terrible. It was terrible. There were a few free games, but most of them, they were baiting you into buying them. I think Peggle was on there or something. There was a lot. There was a lot of little microtransaction stuff snuck into Windows 7, and it, like, I'm gonna be so real with you guys, it kind of annoys me how nostalgic people are for Windows 7 when it's like, when that shit came out, I felt like it was a fucking downgrade. I felt like Windows 7 was kind of ass. And there was so much snuck in there. The cool part about Windows 7 was that it was like the last tolerable OS from Windows. It was the last tolerable one. Everything after Windows 7 was just so new levels of bad that people are like, oh yeah, Windows 7 was good. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. It sucked. Well, yeah, that's my hot take. That's my hot take. Better than Windows 8 Metro UI? I hated Windows 8. I held off on upgrading to Windows 8 for so long. Pippa the Eternal Contrarian. I want to know how many people that love Windows 7 have experienced something earlier than Windows 7. And not an Apple product either. I don't want to hear shit from people who went from using a f***ing Macintosh, the big Apple Macintosh computers, then went into f***ing Windows 7 and then suffered the decline. Because there's so many of those people. There's so f***ing many of those people. 7 was fine. 7 was bad compared to the other ones. But compared to Windows 8, Windows 7 was great. Windows 8 was so bad. Windows 8 was practically unusable. I'm gonna be so for real with you guys. Windows 8 was practically unusable. I remember so many games just did not work on it. It was horrible. I remember trying to play games and you would have to go into like configs and shit through the computer. Oh god, what's it called? The registrar. The registrar. You'd have to go through the fucking registrar and edit and replace fucking bits of code in order to make random games work. A registry. Regedit. That's what it was. Regedit. Dude, it was so bad. It was so bad. Windows 8.1 was a lot better compared to Windows 8, but like not really. Not really. Stuff at least worked on 8.1. Stuff did work on 8.1. Windows 8, like nothing worked. Don't look go Kuroki. Thank you for coming. Thank you. Oh my god, shit talking Windows fixed YouTube. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I'm still gonna give it some time, let people filter in a bit. I could not believe Windows 8 came out. I could not believe Windows 8 was a real product that they actually released. That was kind of incredible. That was like, I don't what's that line? I don't think they playtested this at all. I think that applies to Windows 8. Windows 11 is the worst? No, Windows 8 is the worst. Windows 8 is the worst. If you think Windows 11 is bad, you did not use Windows 8. Because at least on Windows 11, yeah, shit looks like ass. And the f***ing search bar doesn't work. And everything is kind of a nightmare. But Windows 8, like, stuff literally just did not work. Nothing f***ing worked. Some flan enjoy they revive it again, man. People that feel nostalgic about Win XP will never know the joy of setting a web page as your desktop background. Vista was just a freaking lag fest. I don't remember Vista being laggy. Tonwin, thank you for the 20. Thank you. Vista was terrible too. I have some nostalgia for Vista. You know, I think I liked Vista better than I liked Windows 7. Please don't crucify me. I think I like Vista better than 7. Vista was hell. I remember Vista crashing. You're already on a cross. Worst take of all time is Joker 2 all over again. I don't think either was great, but Vista had very bad stability. I was on a shitty laptop by that point anyways. I was in my laptop phase. So maybe that's why I didn't notice any real change. Fish Teresa, thank you. I found pink fur around YouTube's dead body. So is it. So it is. Well, Windows 98 had the most fun stuff on it. And when you're a kid that doesn't have internet, it was kind of peak. It was kind of fucking peak, I'm not gonna lie. And everything you booted up just worked. I remember Windows 7, I also have a lot of hatred for because a lot of CD-ROM games did not work on Windows 7. In fact, there was a semi-frequent like issue that would occur where I would be trying to play a CD-ROM game on Windows 7 and it would install and I would never be able to uninstall it. I don't know what systems were at play to cause that, but it was bad. It was bad. Your games might have been ass. Nah, man. That's because games from Windows Live, it was when they first rolled it out. You could run it in compatibility mode. I shouldn't have to with the games to make them work. They should just work. What games were you trying to install on it? What the I don't even remember. Other than World of Warcraft, which killed it entirely. World of Warcraft tanked my laptop, but I don't think that was Windows 7's fault. I'm not gonna blame that one on Windows 7. I remember though, I hoarded cereal box games. And like free demo discs and stuff like that. And so I would keep those and I would try and play those. And they didn't work on Windows 7. Most of them did not work on Windows 7. A lot of, yeah, book fair games. You'd get like 25 games in one from the book fair for like $10. $5 to $10, which was a lot back then. Now if you buy a game for like $5 to $10, it's still going to be about the level of quality that you would expect from a book fair game back then, of the same price. Those who don't spend hours making games work on Windows 7 don't deserve to play them. Okay, you can cry all you want. Enjoy your shitty operating system that doesn't let you play your video games easily. 11 is much worse than 8. I disagree. I disagree. Windows 11 is not so bad as to require an emergency update that distances the brand from it as far as possible while not f***ing over investors. Alright? We had Windows 8 and then Windows 8.1 immediately came out and they were like, sorry, we made it usable. Sorry. It was so bad. It was so f***ing bad. 11 can always get much worse. True, that is the thing about Windows 11, is it's probably going to get worse. Windows 11 is probably just going to get worse. So it does have that over 8. Microsoft is overextending an update system that's not really intended for rolling releases. 11 kind of sucks too. I'm getting 8 vibes. Stuff works though on Windows 11. Like, that's the thing. Windows 8 was so bad you had to download a third-party program just to make sure you had a proper start menu. Classic Shell! Or wait, was it called... Wait, there was Classic Shell and Metro Suite something. Or Metro something. Metro Suite? Metro Suite Fixer? Something like that? There was a lot. There was a lot. You had to install a lot of programs to make Windows 8 usable. And somebody's thinking, McAfee and Norton would download and fight on your PC? Yeah! True! True! Boot up Windows 8 for the first time. It by default installs a bunch of third-party software. This is great. This is fine. I hated McAfee. McAfee was so bad. McAfee was so f***ing bad. I forget what I used before. I used Avast. I switched to Avast. Avast was like the first, like, antivirus that I was like a fan of. I was like, yeah, I use Avast antivirus. And then it became bad. And then it became bad. But Avast was like, that was like the antivirus back in the day. You were pretty cool and underground and hip if you used Avast antivirus. That was like, oh my god. Do you guys remember when Opera first came out? I don't know if it like first came out, but when Opera first started becoming relevant, Firefox, you were kind of a gamer if you used Firefox or Opera. Now there's Opera GX, which is different but similar. Firefox was the no-script add-on. I still use Firefox. I can't stand Chrome. Back in the day, it was like Chrome was like the default. There was Chrome and there was another one. Not Internet Explorer. Nobody used Internet Explorer. I don't remember what the other one was. Brave! Wait, was it Brave? No, it wasn't Brave. It wasn't Brave. Was it? Netscape Navigator? Is it Netscape? Safari? Safari was Apple. I don't remember. I used Chrome and then I used Firefox. And then for the like 2 or 3 years that Opera was cool, I used Opera. And then I got sick of nothing working on it. Opera was like, yeah, I use Opera. Yeah, nothing works. My Flash games are dead and Flash hasn't been discontinued yet. And what was that other glitch that would come up? It would be like, iframe is not supported or something like that. iScript is not supported. I don't gonna remember. But you would try to boot up web pages and it would just be ass. Everything was ass. Nothing worked. Iframes. My iframes! It was an emulator site. Something script. Something script. Everything was slow and ass. Everything was slow and ass. Really weird tangent today. I miss Congregate. Oh, I loved Congregate because it was like Newgrounds, but without all the degeneracy. Sorry, guys. The Congregate was like something you could use like in front of your parents. Newgrounds. Don't use Newgrounds in front of your parents. Congregate was amazing. I loved Congregate. My favorite game on Congregate was this idle clicker that was just a white screen with like light gray text. And all of the mobs and stuff were, and the progression was based off of Mabinogi. It was like an idle adventure clicker. Idle AFK adventure simulator thing. And I thought it was like the coolest thing ever that I was like the only one who knew that it was Mabinogi. I was so proud of myself. I was like, oh my god. Killing a red spider and then brown foxes. Oh my god. This is Mabinogi. You were a knower. I was a knower. Armor Games. Armor Games was awesome. Armor Games was awesome. There are a lot of games on Congregate I really liked. Like Transform Ice. Transform Ice used to be on Congregate. Bongo Bongo, thank you. I miss the old internet. I don't miss the old internet. The old internet was full of shit that would destroy your computer. And there was nothing you could do to stop it. People will be like, oh, well, if you had just did this or this. I remember on Neopets, there was an ad on Neopets that like injected your computer with a Trojan virus. It was insane. It was just a fucking ad on Neopets that would inject you with a fucking Trojan. Hi, Quail. And everywhere was like that. The whole internet was like that. It was so bad. Everything. Everything was so... Everybody wanted to kill you all of the time. The old internet was like... Everybody's like, if you post a picture of your cat on the internet, somebody's gonna come to your house and steal your banking information. And you're like, what? That's not true. And then you would go on the Neopets forums and your computer would get hacked. And you're like, oh, maybe there is some validity to this. I remember looking at an image of a cloud on Google Images and it blue screened my computer. Show me your butthole, thank you. I miss not having technology. I woke up my end at 40 like my forefathers. The hell? People are weak because they don't have enough fear. True. God. The internet was chaotic. I remember playing the ads. The ads used to be games. I'm complaining that you. Sorry, I use GameSpy. Oh, okay. Ads used to be games, chat. There was like a soccer one and a fly swatting one and like a driving one. And every time you went onto MySpace, it would be like, hot milfs in your area looking to have sex. And I'm looking at that as a kid and I'm like, what the hell? How does it know where I live? How does it know? Now as an adult, I'm like, I can boot up Google Chrome and it's like, here's your current location. I'm like, yeah. I love the internet. The internet sucks. I love the internet. The internet's always been terrible. The internet's always been terrible and scary and everyone's out to get you. I should remember holding you. You know what? I miss MySpace Tom. And the only one not on the list, I met him in Hawaii and he looks so different. I remember thinking I was cool and rebellious as a kid by deleting Tom off my friends list. I really thought I was doing something. I really thought I was doing something back then. I was like, oh yeah, I was edgy. I was edgy. And what's f***ed up is I don't think you could re-add him. I think I like went to his profile and like he didn't ever actually like log in. So there was no way to get him back on your friends list. Oops. I bricked my MySpace account. You only get one chance. Yeah, you only get one chance. Do not miss your shot. Or your chance to... this opportunity comes once in a lifetime.